first Monday episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Hope y'all are doing well this morning. Sadly enough, it's starting with me on my second day off. Yep, that's right. For my dedicated service, I was given a third day off a week, every week. So that's okay. That's fine. Not like I can't find better things to do with my time than, basically donate my services. But I mean, what the hey. So, like I said, hope you guys all had a great weekend. I spent the day yesterday here in the studio, um, working on a pretty good video. Pretty good video is going to be coming up on the 7th. So a week from tomorrow, and it's on one of our local legends that also exists in Ohio and Connecticut. So I'm kind of interested in getting some reaction off that one. That's going to be a good one. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're doing well this morning, you ornery cuss. Waiting on Mr. Ty to pop in this morning. He done a video last night on his meeting with the board for Calamity Jane Days, and I don't know. I hope he's able to pull this whole deal off. It'd be kind of nice to see him heading up a city festival like that. Oh man. So what's your weather like out there, Tony? It was cool here yesterday. We had a strong wind, and today is just as cool. Right now, what are we up to here? I don't know. Let's see. What are we up to? Hey, Chad. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. We're up to a whole 55. A whole 55 degrees. Good morning, Sarah, you beautiful thing, you. Hope you're doing well this morning. It was a pretty day. It was real pretty. I had the manager's keys because she came in and took care of things on Saturday and then left. So I was there at the bar by myself, getting everything set up, and then she didn't come by the house and pick him up Saturday evening when she got back from her husband's company picnic. And so I walked him up there yesterday morning. I put on my shorts and a real thin shirt, and I was just relaxing, enjoying the day off. Figured I'd get in a little walk. It was chilly. It was chilly. I think my old knobby knees were knocking together a little bit. I'm doing good. I have this whole week off, no plans, so I just woke up and booked a campsite at the state fairground for 2 nights. Uh, no better way to spend your time off, Chad. Quite honestly, we're doing since her and I both have to work on the 4th, we're doing a cookout tonight for folks, and so yesterday afternoon I took the pop up out there and got it up yesterday. Moved a couple of the folding tables out there, and I have to move the other table out there here in just a little bit. Get the grill moved. God, I need a new grill. I don't even care if it's a crappy grill. I just need a new grill. We bought this thing like 3 years ago, and all of the screws have managed to strip themselves out. I was trying to move it yesterday, and the legs were all doing this on it. And I would love to find one of the old. See, I'm a charcoal cooker. I don't like gas. I like the taste of my food cooked over charcoal, and I've been known in the past to take like gas grills and stuff and rip all the rails out of them and just turn them into charcoal grills because well, charcoal grills are usually kind of lame looking compared to a gas grill. But I've come to find out with just a little bit of ingenuity and a little bit of work, you can take a real pretty gas grill and turn it into a charcoal grill. But I turned the heat on a bit in the truck this morning. Wife drove home this morning with the heat on. She said when she got out of the casino, she said it was damn cold. Yesterday morning, same thing. I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is about charcoal with me. I guess I'm actually incinerating something like a campfire, and that's just how I prefer my food to taste. So yeah, I now my dad he swears by a gas grill. All those years of using charcoal, he swears by a bloody gas grill. But I was actually on Facebook Marketplace yesterday and found a bunch of grills here in the area that I could very easily convert. A couple of them right here in town. But people want 20, $30 for them, and you might as well be talking two or $300 to me because, well, much like I started off this live stream with, they cut me down one or cut me down another day during the week. So now I'm working 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. Woohoo! Not bad for somebody that hired in last year as a full-time position. The best grill I have had was a barrel type with a smaller barrel firebox for smoking stuff. See, that's what I really, really want. That's what I really want is a 55-gallon barrel with the smaller barrel on the side to smoke in. But, I don't know anybody around here with a welder or anything like that to help me make one. So I'm going to have to settle for one of the teeny tiny little gas grills and convert it myself. But I like the Brinkman a little smoky too. I like a good smoker. I really like a good smoker. When I was down in Texas, we never used a grill. We smoked everything, man. I had smoked brisket. I had smoked beef roast, smoked pork roast, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Well, down there they use nothing but mesquite. So, yeah, I'm getting things ready now to go get the RV and head out to the campground. Got to pick up some firewood. Yep. Might as well do it upright, man. Might as well do it upright. I'd rather do fire than charcoal. I'd rather do fire than charcoal. Well, I'd rather cook over an open fire, but you can't have an open fire here in town. And I don't have a fire ring. So, still have my 20-year-old version of Little Smoky, but I need new grates and bowls. Smoking shit in the thing was tough. It would take fucking ever. I actually had a hole out in the front yard, and we used it a few times. Really enjoyed it. But right now it's kind of hard because um, Steph's aunt and her husband just moved back here from Pennsylvania, and he just started working a couple days ago. So they're working to get in a place, but right now they're in their pop up um, out front here. And go figure, the center of the pop up is right over my fire pit. So luckily we're having the cookout and stuff back here in the drive though. So um good morning, Jan. Good to see you. Hope you caught my comments this morning on your video from last night. I didn't see it last night. Um I saw it this morning when I got in here at 5:30. So, but I left you some comments on that one. I'm not going to go into them. But definitely an interesting location there. So it is July 1st. We are officially over half halfway through the year already. I think I want to go back to being younger when years seem like they lasted forever, because it just seems like the older I get, the faster time moves, and I don't understand why. I mean, time is linear. I don't understand why it seems like it moves faster the older you get. Um, I figure in another 20 years, um, years are just going to, it's going to go from one new year to another new year, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. So I hate this thing in my face. Get up there, Ornery. Tighten, tighten, tighten. There, that's a little better. Yeah, the downhill slide of life. You got it. Uh, I haven't, but I'll be checking. I just got up. Thanks, it's not over yet. I'll be going back as the house is built to deal with whatever goes on. Yep, definitely something there. Um, I was looking at the dig site when you were standing on the gravel. I was looking at the dig site back behind you, and I was trying to get a rough guesstimation of how deep they had gone down, and it looks like they've gone down, uh, you know, 3 feet plus in that open field. And they're definitely in the um, early to mid 1700s at that depth. Um, right about the time that um, the expansion over the Appalachians into the Ohio Valley was beginning, whether it was a legal move westward or you just had families that were moving out that way onto the frontier. And so, I mean, it could be anything. I wish we could find out more about that town that he mentioned, that Ada or whatever it was called, when the railroad started coming through. Um, because if there was a small village or a community located in that area, there's a very good possibility that there was a cemetery there as well. Um, as for whatever that was in the woods line, um, Shawnee, by digging that deep and disrupting things, it could almost be a slip vision kind of deal where you're bringing the past as a shadow into the present. So um, I'm dog sitting. We just took my aunt's dog for a short walk. Well, it's, uh, it, uh, have fun with that. Do you ever go to the beach since it's so close to you? We have not been to the beach in, God, 5 years. I mean, we go to the one here in town, but as for going to Lake Michigan, to the beach, not in a long time. Um, we have our cute little beach here. It just becomes so crowded and so popular in the summertime that's why you can always tell when my wife has hit her alcohol limit of an evening, when her and the girls are together, because when the evening is coming to an end, they will all go down to the new pier and drunkenly jump off and swim to shore. Kids and their hobbies. Oh, good morning, Santee. Hope you're doing well. I bet you got some real pretty weather out there. Bet it's hotter than the devil's balls out there right now. They aren't finished moving Earth. There's an island of trees that they're going to bulldoze. I told them to watch what they move and check for headstones and remains. Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. I passed out on the lake shore once, but there wasn't a beach. Good morning, Ty. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning, sir. Caught your video this morning as well. Seeing as how I don't get notifications when somebody goes live or something like that, I have to frickin' catch it the next morning or whatever the case may be. Um, but I sat down and this morning while I was working on my video for next Tuesday and listened to it in the background, and it's like, dude, I hope these people don't give him the runaround because he is putting a lot into making this cabin and everything work. Yeah, I noticed all those technical difficulties. The first, what, 5 or 10 minutes of your video with Nick was trying to get, because it's like I seen you come on and then you went off and then you came back on again and he was doing some popping and cracking. So I got no clue what the issues were last night. I got to catch up on some of y'all's videos. You better, man. You ain't put a video out since I met you that I haven't caught. At least sometime if I'm gone on the weekends and I have reception. I watch your video on Saturday morning. If I don't have reception, then I'll try to catch it, you know, Sunday evening if I'm in here, and if not Sunday evening, then Monday morning. Fix up on those damn videos. Um, I went to take my test to join the Air Force and decided it was best to be prepped with a case of beer instead of resting. You say that like there's something wrong with it. I would rather uh, I would rather sit down and you know one, two, one, two. It's about the most exercise I want to do. I mean, technically that's considered a curl, I guess. If it's a case of tall boys, then you're still working the bicep. Hope everyone is doing well this Monday. Well, how well can you be on a Monday? I mean, come on. But for the most part, yeah, so far. Santee's Saturday morning videos are like my adult Saturday morning cartoon. I can't wait to watch it. Hey, there you go. There you go. Actually, actually, that would be a that'd be a cute ending for a video. When you're doing that whole at the end of it, all of a sudden have like the Warner Brothers circle come ripping out of it, and crazy old Bill coming out and going blue, 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 blue. That's all, folks. Then it would really be like Saturday morning cartoons. Well, I didn't get in the service. Well, of course not, because I'm sure, what's that? My blood alcohol content the next morning was 0.08. And that's why you didn't get in the service. It's much like we were talking about the mother-in-law last night coming over for the cookout this evening. Was at 61 years old, she drinks like she's 16, and her blood type is 90% um, alcohol per volume. So you're right. I'm putting a lot of work into the cabin. Yeah, and it's like I've said 100 times. I wish I was closer because I'm used to doing presentations to groups. I've done several of them, and uh, you know, if I was closer, I'd be able to help so much with convincing them how this is going to be a money making situation for the town. not just the festival itself, but on a regular basis. Blah, 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 This week I'm venturing away from America and going to Australia, getting sick of everyone bugging me to do a Ned Kelly video. Be interesting. I don't watch Santi's vids for a month or so at a time, so I get a long form video. I don't watch your videos for like 4 weeks, so I can sit down and watch 4 videos at once. It's kind of like a Arizona Ghost Riders documentary. No, my pulmonary stenosis was why. Oh, the beer had nothing to do with it, but it made me doing the ASVAB and physical a very shitty experience. Nowadays, my vids are long form, short form is the shorts. Exactly. I'm not very experienced public speaking. My anxiety gets the better of me. I hear Ned Kelly. I see Mick Jagger. Oh, oh. Yeah, see, and I never realized here until just a couple weeks ago, Sandy, that Tony prefers a long video compared to where most people will lose interest after 5 or 6 minutes watching a 45-minute video. But Tony, on the other hand, enjoys sitting down and watching a 30 or 40-minute video. And so, yeah, I can understand, he watches, 4, 5, 6 of your videos and he gets his 30-minute video, 35, 40, whatever it comes out to be. I understand that. Mick Jagger played Ned Kelly in a movie. Did he really? Stay lit, you bastard. Oh, man. Rough night last night, y'all. I don't know what the problem was. Wife left for work at 9:30. I automatically, went from my little knee pillows at the side of the bed and, sat up on the bed and turned on something to watch. And no matter what I tried, I could not get to sleep. I don't think I went to bed until 12:30, and I woke back up at 3:30. And I was all ready to start my day, put my house slippers on, put my shirt on, walked out in the kitchen to unlock the door for the wife so she didn't have to get her keys out this morning. And I looked over at the microwave and I'm like, to hell. And I locked the door and went back in and laid back down. Woke up again at 4:30. And I'm like, haha, you're not tricking me this time. And I looked at my phone and I said, nope. And laid back down and I laid there. And I laid there. And I laid there. And I laid there. And finally at 5:30 I got up and started my day this morning. Oh, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. If I'm interested in a topic, I want to know all there is to know about it. Makes sense. Mick Jagger played Ned Kelly in 1970. Heath Ledger played him in 2003. One with Emilio Estevez that I can't recall the name, was pretty decent. Free Jack. There you go. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, since her and I both have to work on the 4th of July, we're going to do the 4th of July cookout tonight. Got a whole bunch of folks coming over, so I took Pop Up out and popped it up last night and took a couple of folding tables out and put them out. I got to move the third folding table out today and move Wobbles the Grill over there where we're going to be cooking at. Maybe sometime this summer when her and I actually have a few extra bucks, there'll still be as many grills on Facebook Marketplace as there is right now. Because I found some free grills. It's the same bloody thing we got out there right now. Little freaking ball that you lift up the lid and the whole grill kind of tilts back, and it's like, no, I think I want something a little bit more solid than that. That's why I want to go for my old crazy man ingenuity thing and just take a gas grill and rip out all the tubing and the rails. Take me about 10 minutes, and voila, I have a large, heavy charcoal grill. What are we making for our cookout? I think there may be some burgers involved and definitely some beer brats. So I know she's talking about, I think the cookout starts at like 3 or something like that. I know she's talking about putting the brats in with beer and letting them boil for a while and then taking them out, putting them on the grill. Oh yeah, yeah. We do a lot of brats around here. But she's making tater salad. Another one of the girls is making some other kind of salad. A couple of them are making dessert. Um, I started making something years and years ago. It's a little bit of a southern delicacy, which I grew up in one of those households where every summer, mom salads, bean salad, macaroni salad, potato salad, pea salad. Um, but my aunt down in South Carolina used to make a cucumber tomato salad, and she made it just like coleslaw. It had the sugar and the mayonnaise and the vinegar and everything in it, and she just cut up cucumbers and cut up tomatoes and threw them in there with the sauce and stuff and let it sit for a few hours. And I mean, it was really good. It was always a hit at reunions and stuff like that. So I started making that here a few years ago, and everybody loved it. So that's what I'm going to end up contributing to it, besides a whole day of. Need to figure out uses of wire. Need to figure out the uses of wire. As far as Mick goes, he's no actor, but still the movie was okay. Before I forget, would you be able to make us a new intro and outro for the channel? Of course. Of course. I can always I can always wiggle up time for that. Now I want to ribeye all this cookout talk. Maybe we had ribeyes last night. Yeah. I was going to get some when I get groceries, but I haven't felt like shopping. I figured that's what you meant. Have not felt like shopping. Yeah, the only reason we're doing brats is because they're on sale. And it's generic brats, but a bratwurst is a bratwurst when you soak it in beer for a while. We were looking we had to run to the store yesterday morning, and we were looking at stuff, and it's like, holy crap, holy man. How the hell do people survive, especially this time of the year in town when all of our Lakers come in that live out of state, out to Camp Ritchie folk, and they come in, and the prices automatically go up like another 25%, and they stay there until the end of July, second week of August at the latest, and then they leave and close up their houses around the lake and go back to where they come from, and our prices go back down. So I love burgers on the grill. Me too. We thought out the last of our hamburger last night, and she's like, "You want burgers?" I'm like, "We got mushrooms," and she said, "Nope." I said, "We gotta go to the store. I think I have $1 in change in my pocket. I'm gonna get me a can of mushrooms," and we made mushroom and Swiss burgers. So yummy, yummy. And then it's burgers and brats today and leftovers tomorrow. See, that's how I am, Sarah. But I'm the same way on those very, very, very rare occasions when I actually get steak. I love to saute onions and mushrooms to go with my steak. I'm just a mushroom onion fanatic. I get that's the best way to put it. Small can of shrooms here costs like $1.29. Yeah, that's roughly what they are here too. That's roughly right around there, 119, 129. But there's a few dimes and nickels left in there. On those rare occasions, I'll get somebody who don't carry cash on them um, up at the bar, and but they have change in their pocket, so they'll drop change in the tip container. I bring it all home and stick it in that little cup. So steak should need nothing additional if cooked well. And I agree with that. I agree with that. But don't forget, I grew up, you know, going to places like Ponderosa, and I always ordered sirloin tips. And, I always got sauteed onions and mushrooms with my sirloin tips. And then it became, as I got older, it became a want where I wanted sauteed onions and mushrooms with any kind of steak. So Let me see here. I can't stand canned mushrooms. I love the mushrooms and onions cooked down. Steak. I love onions sauteed on steak. Brookline, good morning, my dear. Hope you're doing fine out there in the big city. It's not a need, it's a want. See, it's a want. I ain't really talking about that stuff. I mostly meant steak sauce. It depends on the steak sauce. Like I like I like the not the regular A1. Um, it's just tangy, but there's an A1 that's more red and it's a little sweeter than the regular dark A1. Um, I like it sparingly with a steak, but yeah, that's if I don't have it, I'm perfectly happy with just mushrooms and onions. I'll be honest about it. I don't want to ruin the I don't want to ruin the flavor of the steak. That's why I don't like a lot of seasoning on stuff. If I'm gonna invest in a nice piece of meat, I want to taste that meat. I don't want a bunch of spices and seasonings and sauces and shit like that on it. Um, I cook onions with scrambled eggs. If I've got like a thing of mushrooms in the fridge, I will finally chop those and you know uh, let's say we made sausage patties or something a day before or something, and I got a little bit of sausage left in the fridge. I'll fry up the sausage and get it crumbled really well, and then I'll put like sausage and mushrooms and onions in my scrambled eggs, or you know, I'll make an omelet or some dumb shit. Next month is my trip. Woot woot! Good morning, Ian. Hope I bet you're anxious for that. Good morning, Yo Yo Head. Thought that was your nickname for Heather. I can't be Yo Yo Head too. I use steak sauce on roasts occasionally. On occasion. I can see that. A little bit of sauce isn't bad, especially, like you're doing a meatloaf kind of thing, and you want to put that little bit of sauce in there to give it little kicks and things like that. Yeah, I can see that. I don't dislike steak sauce. I just don't like it on steak. I'm making steak and chicken tonight for the kids. Well, there you go. Money bags. Do it upright. I know I marinate my steaks for hours before I cook them. I love steak with raw onions. What time we eating? Now my meatloaf has mushrooms and onions. I get real creative with the meatloaf. Oh, that's right. She's Peanut Head. Ty, you're awful quiet, bud. What are you doing back there? I got a $50 Walmart gift card from work, so I splurged on a meal. I got a $50 gift card from Walmart. I would buy a whole bunch of taquitos and burritos that I can just throw in the microwave and cook for 3 minutes and not make a mess. But that's just me because I like quick. You guys know I like to sit and push myself, especially when I'm working in here, until the point where I start to get a little woozy. And then I'll run out and I'll grab something. And yeah, I want something quick. I do meatloaf like Salisbury steak. See, I like that idea. I like that idea because I'm real big on Salisbury steak and, Salisbury steak sandwiches and stuff like that. So, yeah, I can see that. That'd be really good. So, who gets the chickie and who gets the steak? Well, see, that'd be real easy here. My daughter likes chicken and I don't. So, chicken is like the cheapest thing out there right now. So we've been eating the hell out of chicken for a while. It's all we can afford. So, yeah, that's why I said, we cooked the last pack of hamburger last night. We still got like 4 or 5 packs of chicken in the freezer. So, yeah, she gets the chicken. I get the steak. I got 3 ribeyes and a small pack of chicken to grill. There you go. And 3 of you there to enjoy it. I would probably like grilled chicken too if I didn't see chicken like 4 or 5 times a week. I'd probably like chicken a lot more myself. I took a chicken breast and cut it in strips, covered it with rosemary and then bacon. That stuff. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good. Good morning, David. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well today. Blur, 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 blur. Rosemary and bacon. My God, that sounds good. I might actually, uh, I might actually sit down and enjoy a chicken if it doesn't just taste like a bland old chicken. But we will normally, when it comes to a chicken breast or something like that, if I can't convince her into deep frying it, making fried chicken or homemade chicken strips or something like that, then we'll do like chicken tacos or chicken wraps or something. Or I'll just have her cook it up and throw a little rosemary or something like that on it, and or a little seasoning salt, and just do like a chicken salad. I have rosemary in my garden and bacon in my freezer. You lucky devil, you. Bacon's upward of $6 a package now here. So yeah, it's been a while since I've had some bacon. I have Wait, well, first off, just cook it with butter mixed with a goodly bit of rosemary and then bake. That sounds good. I bought a gallon size container of rosemary. When things are on sale, I stock up on. I don't blame you. That's what we used to do too. That's what, well, back when grandma was around, because we had that extra, $2,800 a month coming into the house. But now that we don't, there's no stocking up. It's just catch as catch can when you can, and if you can't, then don't, because it just comes back to bite you in the ass later. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, Tony, because you're always cooking, and you've come up with some pretty good recipes. I I've tried a couple of the things that you've talked about on here, and they always come out so good. I use rosemary and thyme when cooking. I wish I spend a lot of time wishing. I wish that the wife had my mom's old spice rack that used to sit on our kitchen cabinet. I think there was 20 different spices on that rack, and mom would use them constantly. And when I was like 12 or 13, my mom quit using salt. She would just let people salt their food as they wanted, and but she always used this array of spices and stuff that she had up there, and it was an old antique spice rack. It was gotten for them or given to them when they got married. And every time she'd run out of a spice, she would go and she would buy the spice and refill the little glass jars that sat on that spice rack. And and now it's just mostly salt. People on blood pressure medicine should not eat salt. Now that I'm not taking that medicine anymore, I really should not be eating a lot of salt. So, when she cooks my stuff, she just peppers it. She doesn't salt it. But, it still picks up a little bit of residual salt out of that skillet. Um, and to cheat the baking a bit, line the cookie sheet with aluminum foil, lay the chicken in it, fold the foil up around the chicken sides. Don't cover it, and then it will cook in the buttery goodness. Hey, born 100 years, good to see you. Thank you very much. I happened to catch that on Facebook last night and thought, dude, that's a pretty cool pic. I'm gonna use that because, well, it's one of my favorite times sitting around a campfire with a cup of coffee. So, if I cook pork, I favor sage. I can understand that. Morning, Squatch. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. Time is at 8:55. Yeah, I can cook. Me too. But, you know, she does the majority of the cooking here since, you know, that's what I do for a living. Yeah, I don't have to cook here much. Okay, so I have a question. I want to grill corn. When I start my charcoal grill, do I have to put the lid on after I heat it or let it sit there for a bit? Put the food right on. The way my dad always done it, and the old man's food always turned out perfect. He'd make his little pyramid in the center of the grill, put his lighter fluid on it, and he'd light it until all that little pyramid turned gray. Then he'd, take his little scoop or whatever and he'd smooth it all out so it was even on the whole charcoal grill. Then, yeah, Tony just said it. For your corn, you want to make sure and boil it for a little bit on the stovetop, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. And then you want to take it off. You want to wrap it in foil and lay it on the grill. Now, I have seen, um, I've seen a lot of people just leave it in the husk and just boil it in the husk, till you get that moisture um, into the corn, and then just lay it just in its husk on the grill and let it cook that way. That way you're kind of steaming it as you're cooking it. Um, Let me see here. I do a lot of cooking for the family on holidays. I've had to cook turkey dinners with all the trimmings quite a few times, but I like grilling too. Yeah, see, that's how I am. I enjoy cooking on the holidays. Turkey, ham, stuff like that. So, but I do things once again reflecting back on my southern heritage. I hand make a pound of honey butter for like my turkeys and stuff like that. And I use that whole pound inside the turkey and on the outside, and I let it melt in the pan and mix with the juices, and that's what I keep continuously basting my turkey with, is that honey butter and my chopped green onions that I put inside the turkey and stuff like that. And I've never had a complaint on a dry bird or a flavorless bird. Um, Wrap in foil with about a tablespoon of butter. See, I never put butter inside my foil, um, but we always have that soft stick of butter sitting on the table where anybody can use it if they want to. Um, Corn takes a lot longer. What if you make burgers? Yeah, the corn takes a lot longer. So, and the corn wrapped in the foil will hold heat where burger don't take very long to cook. So you can cook your corn first and pull it off and then cook your burgers and you're good. Um, a lot of in terms of a burger. Stopping by to say hello. I can't hear due to where I am. Happy Canada Day. Well, happy Canada Day back to you, Deb. Good to see you, bud. I roast corn for about 30 minutes on a hot grill, 45 minutes, 350 in the oven. I've done turkey, ham, and roast beef. Very cool. Oh, I like honey butter. I like my homemade honey butter. It's honey ee. The butter is something to help steam the corn, helps retain moisture. Okay. Well, we've been at this an hour, guys. I'm going to make a run to the end house real quick. Um, I'm about ready to pop a gasket. Y'all talk real nice amongst yourselves for a second. I'll be right back. I feel about 7 pounds lighter. That's a good thing to use in roasting stuff as well, and make my own honey butter too. I don't like honey, but cooking with it is okay. I bet honey would be good. So if you want to do burgers on the grill, do you still wait till the charcoal's white? Yes. Honey butter goes good with popovers, which is the American equivalent to Yorkshire pudding. I've never tried honey on popovers. I put salt and pepper on the burgers to start. See, yeah, I don't use any salt on my burgers. Now, pepper, yeah, I'll put pepper on the burger, but I use it very sparingly because, like I said, I want to taste the meat. That's the one thing I miss. I've noticed in recent years. Hey, me, not you. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing just lurking. Well, it's what the shadows are there for, man. The shadows are there to hide in so you can observe things. But that's one thing I've noticed in recent years is how the flavors and stuff have changed. I still remember eating a hamburger when I was growing up and the flavor that was in that hamburger. And now they've gone to, you know, so many different chemicals and stuff in the feed and the stuff that they put on the ground that the cows eat. It don't taste the same. It don't taste the same. And if you can get your ground beef and your steak and stuff from a local farmer who don't use a bunch of chemicals and stuff like that, then it resembles that meat that I grew up with. I think the salt pulls moisture towards the outer edges to make it more evenly distributed. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like, especially when you live with a saltaholic. Um, I just don't like salt. The flavors have changed. My family complains about it all the time. Yep, yep, and it's all these bloody chemicals and stuff that they're either putting on the ground or they're putting in the feed or whatever the case may be. I mean, I don't even, be honest with you, when I was growing up, the meat market, the little family owned meat market that we used to get all of our meat and stuff at, um, we all know what they used to use in meat to keep it preserved. It's formaldehyde, guys. The same thing they stick in a dead body to keep it preserved for 3 or 4 or 5 days till a funeral. They don't even use formaldehyde anymore. They use other chemicals, and I really think that also has changed the flavor of the food that we consume. Buy Angus beef if you can. It is clearly better tasting. So you think so? You think Angus is better? Because I I don't like Angus. I do not like Angus. To me, that's what tastes chemically, especially the ground beef. I've never had an Angus steak. God, who can afford, $12 or $13 for one steak? You know, and that's one thing I've noticed too. If you go to a store that only carries Angus beef, you're going to pay 2 or 2.5 times more for that steak than if you went to a store that don't carry Angus steak and bought the same cut of meat. By Angus being clearly better tasting, and if you would have asked me a year or so ago, I would have said it was pure bullshit. I don't know why. For some reason, I just don't like the taste of Angus ground beef, ground chuck, ground round, ground chuck, and ground round. Yeah, like we can afford that shit. Um, Now, if we're really lucky, we'll get ground beef at um, $1.99 a pound, $2.29 a pound, whatever. Um, but yeah, um, I lost my train of thought now because I got phones dinging up here. Um, but yeah, not Angus. Hell, we're paying $4 or $5 a pound for ground Angus here. It's like, no. I'll eat potato chips at home and eat my not Angus ground beef at work. Depending on if it's grain fed or grass fed. I will say that the little one pound chubs of hamburger from Dollar General have a great flavor. I don't know if our Dollar General's got them yet. They just switched ours over to what I like to call a super general, or a brigadier general, because it was an old store. They just spent a month moving in new freezers and um, a little produce section. It's like 10 feet long. Half of that is a cooler, half of it's just a open rack with baskets. Um, but what used to be like a 10 cooler wall is now 25 coolers. So, blah, 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 blah. It's, it is $4 a pound. Beef has gone up quite a bit here. Even Chuck. Only occasionally am I able to find a good deal on it, and only limited availability. Yeah. Yep. Now, and see, I've noticed once again, if you go to the meat market to get your ground beef, or go to Walmart and buy the 10-pound rolls or something like that, that is regular beef. But if you go to stores like ours that only carry Angus, they don't carry the chub or the little 3-pound rolls or whatever. And like I said, I'm not going to pay $5 a pound for ground beef. I'll go out and kidnap a cow first. That's right, I will become a cattle thief. Angus patties from Walmart are still better. And once again, if we actually had the money to constitute driving 35, 40-minute round trip to go and spend $200 or $300 at the store, we would probably go to Walmart to buy it. But hell, we've not been to a Walmart. The last time we were at Walmart was before Christmas, and that was to do our Christmas shopping. The 10-pounders are decent enough to eat. Yeah, we bring them home with a box of freezer bags, and we'll either patty them out, 4 or 5 patties to a bag, and stick them in there. We'll break it up into little 2-pound bundles and stick it in the bag, and that's what we'll eat off of for a couple months. Ouch. But I like I like the 10-pound bundles. That's my personal favorite, um, because it just tastes like real beef. It don't taste chemically altered. I'm not so picky that I won't not eat Angus. And if I go out someplace and that's what's there, then that's what I eat. But if I'm cooking at home, I want to enjoy what I'm eating. I want to enjoy the flavor of it. And that's the only reason that I do get picky a lot of times, is it's just not enjoyable. I mean, I'm a former fat boy, I'm still fat incognito, but I like to enjoy what I eat. But for beef that is served as a dish itself, burger, steak, Give me Angus. Let's see what that was all about real quick. But now I will eat what I like. Oh, wait. Um, that is the thing. I ate as frugally as possible when I was feeding a herd of daughters. We're still frugal. We're still frugal. I'll be honest about it. I'm not ashamed. You know, I live in a teeny tiny town. I got the only job that was available to me. And, we don't have the money to go out and shop like we used to. But, we still eat frugal. It's cheap or as on sale as we can possibly get. And that's the only time we go shopping. I don't know that I ever fed the kids steak. Sirloin tips, yeah, but steaks, no. We did buy steak to use, what's that say, like roast? I'll use Angus if I really have to, but the way I cook, I can make chuck taste like prime rib. Exactly. Exactly. See, David, that's how you and I are alike. I can make my food taste like I want it to taste and enjoy it. Yeah, I prefer to eat at home. Well, let me rephrase that. I prefer to eat at home unless we're eating Asian. If we're eating Mongolian or Chinese or Japanese or whatever the case may be, it better be a buffet. And it better be a good buffet. Now, one thing I got to admit that the wife has tried to cook for me a dozen times, and she can never get the flavor right. When you go to an Asian restaurant, 90% of them have got that beef and broccoli. that beef and broccoli. She can never get the sauce right. I have even thin sliced my beef to go into it. She can never get the sauce right, but she keeps trying, and I give her credit. She keeps trying. It's easier just to drive to the damn restaurant and get it by people who created it. Prime rib is good, okay, but I'd rather have ribeye. Well, I'd rather have ribeye. I mean, come on. Asian is something I don't have the gift of either. My hamburger meat expired yesterday. It's still good today, or should I? Yeah, it's still good. The expiration date on food is a by law suggested thing. You have to use your own senses. If it has stayed frozen or it's only been in the fridge for a day or something like that, um, as long as it's still pink and it don't have an odd smell to it, you're good. Asian cooking is a bit tricky. Asian cooking is harder. We had Chinese takeout Saturday night. We're going out Tuesday, tomorrow night. Steph's aunt and uncle's taking us out since our anniversary was last week, and we didn't do anything. They're taking us out tomorrow night to some real nice little Asian place, I guess, in South Bend. So I'm really looking forward to that because hopefully this place knows how to make or knows the difference between a steamed dumpling and a pot sticker. Because I love steamed dumplings, ain't crazy about a pot sticker. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And again, we only have one Chinese restaurant. It is a sell by days. There's one just up the road from us. It was frozen. It's fine for months. Yep. I mean, I've literally, um, well, we used to buy a side of beef when I was growing up, or we'd buy a whole beef. And back, when a whole beef only cost you like $200 instead of 600 or $700 like it does now. But we'd have meat in the freezer a year later. It's still good as long as it's frozen. I'd like I like to make my own Chinese food sometimes, but we'll do takeout to sample some of the local places that I haven't been to before. A few of them can't even get the rice and broccoli right. I've been to places like that. Well, I mean, as long as it's not been sitting in the fridge for a week, let's put it that way. As long as it's not been thawed out for a week, um, yeah, it should still be good. Once again, always use your own senses. Smell it, feel it. If it feels slimy, get rid of it. If it smells weird, get rid of it. Um, yep, that's it. went bad yesterday and I never froze it. It, it didn't go bad, it just expired. That's once again, that's a sell by date. That's not a use by date. That's a sell by date. So, which, like our manager specials that we always try to find at the store up here, um, they will have it in the regular area till it's sell by date. Then they move it down to the manager specials and mark it down. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just a sell by date. If you cook it well done, it won't do any harm if it's starting to go bad. Yeah, definitely don't take your expired meat and cook it, you know, rare. Morning, Captain. Good morning, Terry. Morning, 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 dear. Hope you're doing well this morning. Oh, hell, the coffee pot shut. Y'all didn't tell me the coffee pot shut off when I went to the bathroom. Thank God it ain't been that long. Glub, 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 glub. Can't see the thing. What? You couldn't hear it go weep, 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 weep. Oh, Tony, I'm good and 1 year older today. Happy birthday, Terry. Nothing wrong with getting a year older. I mean, it's just a little bit faster. The year passes by every year older we get, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's still chilly here. It's only in the 50s right now. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the 50s a lot more than I enjoy the 90s, like it was, last week. This time of the morning, and it's already 80, 84, 85 degrees. I mean, much like I tell the daughter all the time, you can always put more clothes on, but you can only take so many off before you're just not socially acceptable anymore. I made a pot a few minutes ago. It's chilly here with these fucking dogs. It is. Er, er, er. Can't get it. I have to get the tweezers on it. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. 9:30, got about a half hour left, and it is time to get working on the outside. I got to go out and weed eat the hill still. We got the yard mowed yesterday. I went out and weed eated the biggest part of the yard, young man down the alley. Um, they brought their mower down. We're getting ours worked on right now. Um, got somebody trying to work on it, trying to get it running again out of the kindness of their heart because, we can't afford to get it worked on. The place here in town wants $50 to work on it. And hopefully he can get it fixed. This will be 2 years the bloody thing's not ran, so hopefully we'll get it fixed so I can start mowing again. When it gets chilly like this, I want to grab a woman, put my hands in a warm spot. Yeah, me too. Me too. Sadly enough, I don't have any volunteers. So, yeah. Um, it's only 72 degrees and windy here in Hamden, Connecticut. Oh, you're in Connecticut, David. I'll take the kids to the zoo. See y'all later. Have fun, Sarah. Take lots of pictures. Post them on Facebook. Lots and lots of pictures of you and the kids at the zoo. Make sure your son don't get picked up and carried off by a giraffe like that little girl in Texas did. Yeah, I'm in Connecticut. Well, I got a video coming out a week from tomorrow, and it actually mentions Connecticut a couple times in it. Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut. So there you go. Didn't even know what state you's from, and already threw out one of your urban legends. Did y'all see that video of the little girl with her mom in the back of the pickup truck? There's a little safari place down in Texas, and the the mom and the little girl was riding in the back of the truck, and they were feeding the giraffes and the zebras and stuff, going through this little safari park. And the little girl's holding some food in her hand for the giraffe, but she's holding the rest of it down here. And that giraffe comes in to grab the food and goes straight down here. And when he bites the food, well, when he wraps his tongue around the food, he gets the little girl's shirt. And as he lifts up, he picks the little girl up out of the bed of the truck. and and she completely cleared the roof of the cab before the mom yelled, and the giraffe dropped her. And luckily, her mom caught her. She only had a couple little bumps and bruises, but yeah, this bloody giraffe picked this little girl up, um, and then dropped her. And luckily the mom caught her, but the people in the vehicle behind them managed to get the film footage of this giraffe picking this little girl up, and they had to stop, of course, at the gift shop on the way out of the park, and pick her up a little stuffed giraffe that I guess she could carry it around in her mouth or something like that, and have vengeance on this giraffe. But yeah, I think if you and I can't check right now, but I might be able to. Hold on a second. Let me see here. Search giraffe picks up toddler. Yep, yep, it's right there. Giraffe picks up toddler at Texas drive-through safari. Mom captures video of moment giraffe grabs toddler at wildlife park. Yeah, it happened 3 weeks ago. But yeah, you can look it up. Oh hell, it was balmy 63 here at the moment. Well, forgot all that moment. I women, people need to realize these animals are not pets. There is potential danger in interactions with said same. Yeah, I mean, and they knew it was a wildlife park. They just didn't think in a million years. I've been to the zoos up by Kalamazoo and stuff like that, Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, South Bend. Um, and normally you have these walkways where you can walk into the giraffe habitat, and you can feed them by hand and stuff like that. And they're usually a very gentle, docile, and cautious animal. But this was a pure fluke that the little girl's wearing an old baggy t-shirt and she's holding the food here, and when he come down to wrap his tongue around that food, he wrapped her shirt up and picked her up. And I mean, it was a complete accident. I'm sure if the giraffe could apologize, it would apologize. But there's a language barrier there. And it is like Yellowstone. Look at that buffalo or that cute little brown bear. Let's get selfies. Yep. Or my personal favorite. Oh, look at it. It's just sitting there watching us, honey. Why don't you walk out there and pet it? Yeah. It's a shame Sarah's gone. So I don't know when she posted this. It may have been within the last couple of days. But she actually posted something. I think it was Sarah posted something on Facebook about her son noticing a bear cub on their front porch. And she's like, "Don't open the door. Mom is somewhere around." And he's saying, "I don't see her anywhere." And she's like, "Well, just cause you don't see her don't mean she ain't there." So, yeah, I mean, what the hell, man? What are you gonna do? Yeah, a few days ago. I once again I caught it last night. So I don't ever look at the days things are posted. One of my friends is like Dr. Doolittle. He has a way with animals, even wild ones. I've met a few people like that. Not a lot. Being where I'm at, but I've met a few people like that. That you know You're not going to get a wild wolf to eat a piece of beef jerky out of your hand or anything like that. But, I've seen him lay food out and um, only be like 10 feet away, and a wild fox come up and eat the food he left and walk away. I've never seen him pick it up and love on it or anything like that. But yeah, I've met some people who have a way with animals. Animals just seem to trust them. Ah, I did tell her to look out for mom. Yeah, 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 yeah. Had a roommate years ago that was a little tipsy, and she was calling a raccoon in the house. She thought it was my cat. Have you caught the video and it was posted over a year ago, but I see it pop up from time to time. There's an old man sitting on his front porch feeding hot dogs to raccoons. And he must have 25 raccoons crawling up him to take him out of his hand and loving on him and sitting on his lap eating hot dogs. And some of them run up, grab the hot dog, jump off, and run away, then come back for another one. That's what I'm talking about. People that have a way with animals. And I've known people that have had raccoons and skunks as indoor pets. Of course, they get the stink gland taken out of a baby skunk or something like that. But they used to bring these pets to reenactments and encampments with them. And they'd spend the whole weekend walking around on a leash, visiting people, eating dinner with them. Very, very cool. You thought the raccoon was your cat. Yeah, you don't want to trap a wild raccoon in your house. They have a tendency of sometimes going batshit crazy when they realize they can't get back out as easily as they got in. The wife's dad, when they lived over here on the lake when she was little, her stepdad, they had a pair of raccoons that adopted the family. And whenever they cooked out or something like that, the raccoons would come right over and sit on their picnic table and wait to be fed. And the kids could pet them, and they'd take things out of the kids' hands and stuff like that. Wild raccoons. And she said just one day they were cooking out and realized that the coons never came back, and she never saw them again. So God only knows what happened to them. Maybe coon hunters, maybe they moved somewhere else, maybe they lost interest in the family. Who knows? But he's had squirrels sit on his shoulder, rat snakes wrapped around his arms, walked around carrying wild skunks like they were cats. Very cool. Very cool. And this is your Dr. Doolittle friend. That's pretty cool. These are an interesting critter many times at campgrounds. Will lose all fear of humans. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've told you guys the story before when we were at Tippecanoe State Park in Indiana doing an encampment one time. We had a family that decided they wanted to camp by the river. And there was this huge oak tree. I mean, they had their teepee set up, then they had a picnic table, and their cooler was up on top of the picnic table with a heavy metal grate on top of it and stuff like that. And then they had this huge oak tree. And every night, those coons would come down out of that oak tree. And they would push the grate off the cooler, and they'd get things out of the cooler, or they just push the whole damn cooler over on the picnic table and raid it many, many, many times. And they never learned their lesson because every year they went back there, they always set up in the same spot. But yeah, between the river otters coming out of the Tippecanoe River and wandering up into their camp, since their camp was only like maybe 20 feet away from the water's edge, they would either the river otters would come up and irritate them, or the raccoons would be raiding their cooler. Funniest thing out of all of it though was the river otters, because nice warm summer day, they didn't bother closing the flap on their teepee. And must have been 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden you hear this blood curdling scream. And it was because two of the river otters had gone inside their teepee and was chasing each other around the teepee. and just happened to run up on the wife while they were running their loops around the teepee playing with each other. Um, Woke her up, and I'm sure that they probably worked extra hard getting her feces off the wall of that teepee, and probably his buckskins. Um, because yeah, I guess that thing ran right up her leg. She's laying there at the back of the teepee. He was laying against the wall. She was laying out there closest so she could get out and go to the porta potty when she needed to. And those things are running around in circles in the teepee and ran right up her leg, across her belly, and just continued their loops and woke her up. And oh dear God, I love to hunt coons with dogs, but I won't kill them. I don't like to eat the things, and never was a fur hunter. But listen to hounds work is one of the greatest pleasures. Oh, I know. We used to have coon hunters where I was growing up at, and it was amazing to sit there and listen to that out in the woods, half a mile away. You could hear it echoing across the empty fields and stuff. Hell, we rescued a coon dog one time. Got separated from the group. We found him the next morning. One of the local farmers had shot at him and, clipped his haunch. And he wandered up in the yard, and I noticed that our dog was unnaturally standing over him. Um, so we went out to check him out, and he had a collar on. But we had a sheep farmer that lived about a mile down the road, and he didn't like dogs around his sheep. Go figure. And he took a shot at it and clipped his haunch. So my dad got out first aid ointment and tore up one of his t-shirts, and we patched him all up and got on his collar. And only time I ever seen my mom let an animal in the house. Probably because he was so well behaved. He was still young. He's probably only a year old, if that. And he he laid there by the back door. The dude drove like 20 miles to come and get him. And when the dog seen him walking up the sidewalk past the shed, he stood up and he started wagging his tail and stuff like that, and it let out a little whoa 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 whoa. So yeah, good little dog. He was happy to get his dog back. It is hard to believe, but if you work your dog enough, he will tell you exactly what he's doing and how he barks and balls. Yeah. I was really fortunate in hounds. I've never been coon hunting. Not with dogs, anyway. My first was an old blue tick, Grand National Night Champion that my uncle gave me for Christmas. That's pretty cool. Man, I'd still like to know how I got that cut last night while I was asleep. That's pretty messed up. That thing hurts. Thank God I'm right handed. See it? I sleep on my belly with my arms under my pillows. So how I got that cut on my finger last night, I'll never know. He was about a $500 dog in his younger days. A Grand National Night Champion. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You can't beat a good dog. You really honestly can't. I don't care if it's a hunting dog. I don't care if it's a family pet. I don't care what it is. You can't. Oh, five. Oh, sorry, I had a zero back behind that heart. $5,000 dog. Me myself, I've always wanted either a blue heeler or a husky. Now, I had a husky prairie wolf mix at one time. He actually went to Texas with me when I went down there, and I had a real small trailer up in Indiana. So going back to that, it just wasn't fit for him. So I give him to friends of mine in in Texas. They had some acreage he could run on and play and stuff. So I have three very good dogs, and the other three, well, yep. I've always wanted to say get a border collie. I don't know. There's just something about um, there's just something about a blue heeler. I've always liked a blue heeler. Um, well trained. They're good with kids. They're good with animals. They're herding dogs. But when you have several children around, that comes in handy. You can keep them all like herded into one area. Um, collies, huskies. Just always loved a blue-eyed husky or gray-eyed husky. Um, Burnaby, good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Border collies are the smartest dogs there are. See, that's how I always felt about a heeler. Um, the few healers that I've had a chance to be around were very receptive to voice commands. Um, Something as simple as a snap, you got their attention. One of them, when you snapped, no matter what he was doing, he'd stop, come right over, and sit down at your side. Why am I hearing cats screaming? Hold on, I'll be right back. And dogs don't fight in the middle of your kitchen floor. I'll never understand that. Then again, I didn't see what happened. Well, the grandpup is brown-eyed Malamute. She thinks she's a lapdog. Malamutes are not lapdogs. Don't forget, I had a Malamute timber wolf at one time. All 185 pounds of him like to either sleep on you in the chair or sleep with you in the bed, all stretched out. So you basically needed a king-size bed to get that dog and two people in it. You can watch how Border Collie thinks, how he interacts with kids. Mine would wrestle and roughhouse with the grandson, but the baby granddaughter, he was completely gentle and careful. Oh, by the way, that was Ralph and Mama Kitty that got into a fight out in the kitchen. One minute she's just a bitch. One minute she's cuddling with him and won't leave him alone, and the next minute she's fighting with him like an old married couple. I miss having a dog, but can't afford them anymore. Vets are ridiculous with the prices. Oh, tell me about it. Come here. We have one hospital, one veterinary hospital that's almost an hour away, and they're high but reasonable. We have a hospital here in town, or a veterinary clinic here in town, and they'll charge an arm and a leg. I told the wife, if we ever get rich, I'm getting pet insurance. Ain't nothing in the world like trying to get your animal spayed or neutered, and they want $300-400 to get an animal fixed, and they wonder why people just throw their animals out in the street to try to survive, because people can't afford it. I drive 110 miles to my dog's vet, and it's completely worth it. Understandable. Here locally, $600 to get dogs fixed or shots. So why we got cats? They're much smaller, much easier to handle, till they act like these bungholes are out here right now. They wake the wife up, they'll know where they made their mistake. I remember when the city would give you a voucher to fix your pet. Yeah, see, we have programs here that where you can like catch a stray and take it in there, and it costs you like 25 or $50 to get an animal fixed, but then you have to release it back out in public. You have to release the animal. You have to pay to get the animal fixed to make it continue to be feral. Makes no sense. The whole first visit, we got to do all the shit, get all the money we can. Once I move, it's the first thing I'll be getting is a cat. Sucks being alone. Oh, I'm sure. I can't do the alone thing. But it's at the time, guys. I got to get rocking outside, getting ready for this cookout tonight for the 4th of July, since we have to work on the 4th of July. So, you guys all have yourself a great day. Happy Canada Day for those of you up in Canada. Um, I'm going to be working the rest of the day between trimming the yard and everything else. So you guys all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch you on Friday morning. Y'all take care. Have a great day.